So, have you guys ever been in a situation where you've really wanted to approach someone because you find them very interesting and you believe that you'll be able to exchange some insights or even some intellectual conversation, yet you're just deeply insecure and socially awkward? So, you just missed out on the opportunity altogether. Well, yeah, that's kind of my entire youth life or teenage years or adolescent years. I feel like in my case, I'm deeply insecure and have an inferiority complex, yet believe that, yet simultaneously believe that I have something special in me that a lot of other people don't, or the average person just doesn't have. Um, like, I don't know, I feel like my mentality and just things that make me happy are like highly different from other people. So I don't really feel like elaborating on what exactly my mentality is or the things that uh, sets me off from other people, but I already lost my train of thought. I was gonna say something. Okay. So, uh, I feel like I have a deeply embedded, self-imposed pressure to always, always achieve something from my creativity or imagination that I just never pursue to completion, and that makes me just highly sad. And one of my main insecurities. That's fucking. I think a good example is kind of being the outcast within my family, my extended family, and just being that one kid, who is never really the center of the topic or something at the family reunion, because I I just lack a lot of the achievements that my cousins have per se. So, for example, I have cousins going to Ivy League schools, and I have cousins that are uh, masters of their craft, as in sports, and are highly intellectual per se. Meanwhile, I'm just this introverted and socially awkward nerd who just prefers to stay home and is like not necessarily a recluse, but if given the choice, I kind of would pursue that lifestyle. Not necessarily out of insecurity, but also because I have trouble exceeding my comfort zone. But the thing is, I feel like I have like vastly different goals from my cousins or just family members and family friends in general. Like, a lot of them are highly focused on their careers or occupational and vocational undertakings, and I would consider them somewhat elite, like some of them. Meanwhile, I'm very middle class. My family and I are very typically middle class, and I'll be honest, that's a bit of an insecurity and one of the reasons why I have trouble relating to them and trouble approaching them. I feel like there's always a barrier between us, and especially their parents, who I feel are a lot more judgmental than the children themselves. And it's not even their fault. I think it's a lot more of a self imposed thing. I can't really think of the right words. I have trouble like articulating my thoughts well, but okay, yeah, I digress. Yeah, so I already lost my train of thought again. So as for my goals, I've always been like a highly or a deeply imaginative person, uh, who always had like creative endeavors and such since childhood. I've always been inspired by cartoons from my childhood and things of the like. So I think I've been making my own stories and scenarios for as long as I can remember. And I hope to someday maybe share them to the world, like either online. It doesn't really matter actually. I just need a medium to reach people and hopefully gain some relative traction. Like, I'm not expecting to be absolutely groundbreaking and the next big phenomenon or something. But I think one of my life goals is to finally just finish a huge project and hopefully inspire some people through my art and my envisionments and imagination. Basically, I have a bunch of little stories, and I feel like this is one of the things that kind of dichotomizes me from a lot of other people in my social environment, because I'm much more in my own head than a lot of other teenagers and kids my age. I'm not trying to imply that I'm special, or rather special, yeah, or unique, because there's a lot of other kids like me and a lot of other people who live similar lives to me. I need a break. Another thing I wanted to say or elaborate on about being in my own head is that I think I live a lot more vicariously through other people and other, even just like fictional characters and historical figures, and even like my own imagined people, than like a lot of other kids my age do. Like, this is a really stupid example, but like when the war in Ukraine started, I was kind of I kind of made like my own characters. This is so embarrassing. This is so embarrassing to admit, but I made like my own people who like experienced the war or something. I tried to like live vicariously through that. And I know it's not a unique thing to like try to put yourself in other people's shoes, especially during times of suffering and deep adversity or immense adversity, but I feel like I do it in a lot more complex manner, and I take it a lot more seriously than other people. Honestly, I spend like maybe like 80% of the day thinking of, or not 80% of the day, but I kind of devote like around maybe like roughly 60 to 80% of my thoughts to like imagined people, or just things I just made up in my head. And it's like, it makes me deeply insecure because I don't think anyone in my family has, or can like even, I don't think anyone in my family can relate, like at least to the extent the extent that I go to. Yeah, I think it's normal, right? It's just a little bit odd, but it's not harmful or anything. It's not inherently harmful. But okay, I kind of digress. I think back to my insecurities, especially like relative to my family. I'm just always that one kid who probably never gets talked about, and not that I care about, or not that I seek or crave the attention, but like, let's face it, it's pretty validating to your ego and your self-worth and self-perception when your elders and just other parents kind of admire you. And I know this is like somewhat toxic or has toxic implications, but I want to be that kid that is the model for their kids, okay, this, I don't know how to put this in words, but when a kid is being compared to another kid by their parents, yeah, I want to be, what is it, comparee? Or no, I want to be that model, basically. I'm just losing my English skills for some reason. Okay, but I think this is like stereotypically Filipino or like Asian in general, like an Asian diaspora or Asian American thing. I know it's not uniquely Asian, but it's like especially prevalent in like Filipino and Asian cultures of comparing your children to others and always like pressuring yourself and being pressured by your family and such. But actually, speaking of that, I wouldn't consider my parents to be very strict, like especially in Asian standards. They never really pressured me per se, except for that one time when I was like in, I don't know, like 4th grade or 3rd grade, when I didn't get like an academic award or something. Okay, but so yeah, I honestly, I don't think that I don't think I'm ever going to like amount to the success that I imagine in my head, like ever in my lifetime, because I have pretty idealistic goals and dreams that I just don't believe I can ever attain due to not due to circumstances and such, but I don't know, I just probably don't have what it takes, because I really want to share my art to the world, and I don't really want to be a manga artist. Like manga artists and like comic artists and just animators in general, like anyone of the arts or mimesis field. Okay, this is a really weird way of putting things, but they really inspire me. But I kind of want to go down like an unconventional trajectory. Sorry. Like not only relative to like my family, my cousins' goals per se, but also like in the art field in general. This is the messiest articulation ever. I'm so sorry. But yeah, like if I ever make it big somehow, just remember me, I guess, and see how far I've progressed from this just dumb kid to some successful person who actually found stardom in my creative endeavor. And another thing is that I'm currently taking a course, or I'm going to work in a field that's like completely unrelated to my passions. I know that the philosophy of following your dreams, especially in your occupation, exists, but I don't really think that applies to me, because like as idealistic as I am, I'm also somewhat of a pragmatic person, so I need to kind of tailor my occupational trajectory to what suits the job market. I'm not going to explicitly say what my career path is, but it's completely unrelated to my goals and my personal goals, I mean, and I honestly don't have much interest for it. And the scary part is that you kind of do need to condition yourself to be invested in your career, because or in this specific career, because it's a very serious job is all I'm going to say. So yeah, I think that wraps it up, maybe. Okay, no, I think I have a couple more things to yap about. before I end the video. So I remember this one time from my tween years when I was like 12 or something, or 13, when I was talking to my cousin about like our future goals and such. And I mean, no shade to this person if they're watching this right now for some reason and happen to recall this moment. But it honestly really hurt because she kind of invalidated my dreams and degraded me. She said that I told her that I wanted to be like a manga artist in Japan or something, which honestly I would be okay if, okay, no, wrong train of thought, but because I was like I was like really into manga and anime at the time. So yeah, that's like still kind of what I plan to do, except I don't really want to be a manga artist in Japan. I just want to be like an independent thing. Okay, but anyway, where was I? Where was I? Okay, yeah, so it kind of affected me because she said, oh, you won't make it, and she just implied that I lacked the talent and skills and I lack the talent to pursue that. Meanwhile, she told me about her goals. It's like a sport related goal and that she wants to do competitively, and I honestly never said anything bad about that to her. I wasn't like highly supportive of that goal, but you know, I didn't say anything bad, and that kind of just hurt me. I felt betrayed that she would say something so mean to me. But this is kind of dumb because this happened like ages ago, this moment, but I feel like it still kind of affects me to this day because that doubt still exists within me, and hearing it from someone else just validates that doubt and fear so much more. Like it amplifies it so much more than just like self theorizing or something like that, or low self-esteem. And like hearing it from like a family member, like a close family member in particular, is just so much more impactful than just hearing it from like a random stranger on, I don't know, online, like on Reddit or something. Actually no, like people on Reddit, like generally, if it's like practical advice, they're quite supportive. But yeah, I digress. And another thing I wanted to say is that I was like talking to my parents about my goals as well, like in the art, or like my personal goals in art. And like they've always been supportive of my passions for art and such, but I don't know, my parents got I feel like my parents kind of disparaged it, my goals, because they really want me to focus on studies and such. And yeah, while I definitely I'm in accordance with them, but it did hurt because it felt like my goals didn't matter. I kind of felt like I was in the wrong for being so passionate about what I do. So yeah, and my mom always says that I have a tendency, or I'm inclined to like neglect my studies to like pursue my hobby of art and such, and just get lost in my head in general. And honestly, yeah, that's true. I'll admit that's very true. But yeah, I think another thing that makes me like particularly insecure about my art, my passion for art, is that like I used to have an Instagram account for art that I deactivated like a few months ago, because it honestly really hurt that I spent like a lot of time on some art pieces that just flopped entirely and didn't get any likes really. And the fact that like most of my followers were people I knew in real life, like cousins and like old friends and such, it was kind of painful to like not have them like or support my stuff, because it just, like, as petty as it is, it just kind of gives me the idea that they just don't care about like my stuff or my passions at all. Meanwhile, like within their social circle, like their friends who post like real life pictures where they look really attractive and yeah, just, I don't know, they're just really drippy. Like they get a lot of likes and support and attention from their other friends and followers. So it did hurt, like knowing that no one really cares about my shitty drawings. I mean, to be fair, I was kind of shit posting a lot of like dumb shit that I think a lot of my real life friends and such wouldn't understand. But yeah, another thing that makes me especially insecure is that, like, as passionate as I am about drawing and such, I suffer from creative burnout, like, extremely often. Or I just have trouble finishing my projects to completion. Like, I'll envision something so breathtakingly amazing and phenomenal in my head. Like I would often consider it like my next magnum opus or something like that. Sorry, magnum opus. But I think somewhere along the process or throughout like creation and stuff, I just give up all the time. Like especially in animation, because animation is so painstakingly time consuming and tiring. Like you're really going to want to no, I won't imply that, no. But yeah, because I have another channel where I upload animations like once in a blue moon, and my subscribers and commenters are just so supportive, and yeah, they compliment my work a lot, even though it's like really stupid stuff that I make. Yeah, they happen to enjoy it for some reason. I honestly have no idea why. Like, why the fuck would you enjoy the bullshit that I make? But I've gotten a lot of nice comments from them, where they've also awaited my next project, and I feel like I've betrayed them somehow, because I go months of like a hiatus, or like months of just not updating at all, or sharing new content. So yeah, I suffer from a lot of creative burnout, because I also really enjoy writing, but like the thing with art and writing, and even music actually, like to a lesser extent I do music even though I'm absolute shit at it. I just can't like I can't translate, or I can't depict or portray like my imagination on my medium of art, like my tangible medium of art, because I don't know, I know it's like it's just an artist thing to like never be happy with your own creations, always be like hypercritical and such. But yeah, this really hurts. I think this is it. I'm done talking. It's been like 2 hours. So yeah, I'm 20% now, and it's 1 a.m. or it's 12 a.m. So yeah, this is so stupid. I think I'm going to delete this maybe in the future.